that you will find jumping from, you have people working at Weta, for example, the studio in New Zealand, which is very well known for great work on movies, that are also working on game studios and concept art for video games, 3D modelers, the same, effect people. You have now in the gaming industry, also in the arts, you have people that are called lighters, that are basically supposed to set, especially of course it's a bit less relevant in a space game like that, otherwise to set the lights and just like you would do on a movie set or even on a theater set. And that's basically where the art in the game industry converge with the movie industry. It's a very interesting moment right now, because especially when you get at the size and we have kind of the leverage that CCP has, we start to have access to all these resources and to mix a bit all these influences. And Asgeir could talk a bit, probably, maybe we'll do a bit later, I don't know, but a lot of the influences, for example, for a game like EVE Online, came from movies as well, in terms of visual style and general mood. I mean, Asgeir can talk about comic books, maybe and movies, maybe you want to jump in.
The original inspiration comes from movies like Blade Runner and Alien, and we all used to read a lot of heavy metal, so it was like some comics like Meta Barons and comics by Auðunn. And what was different about Eve in the beginning, when we were creating it, was this realistic, desaturated dark look. And as you maybe noticed, there is almost no crimson or purple in these designs, although there's a lot of that in the gaming industry. So I think, and there used to be much more, and I think today probably the gaming industry has followed us a little bit in that modern games today are becoming more and more desaturated and like Eve is.
So basically, to talk a bit about the process, and again, if you have some questions, don't hesitate to interrupt us. We didn't prepare that much, except throwing a few pictures in this folder. So just jump in if you want to do it. Basically, the process to create art it's pretty much what was explained in the presentation just before, and it's very much the same process that we have at CCP. Of course, a bit of a larger team, but the process is very linear in a way that it all starts usually with sketches. And if I remember well, that's for example some very
these are modular shapes printing. So let's say concept art that these shapes, and it all has to do different parts of the shapes which supposed to be like modular, so the player can actually create their own shapes out of 5 different parts. So they have to keep a lot of things in mind when designing the shape. That it looks good with any part on it. So yeah,
it starts with a lot of thumbnails and a lot of small sketches that of course Asgeir work with the concept artists to get made it down. And actually pretty early we get the 3D modelers involved in the process now. And as soon as we have some sketches and some basic shapes that we like, the 3D artists start to do what we call the blockouts. And the blockouts are basically some rough, we call it rough, something like that, for example, is a pretty basic shape that a 3D modeler is going to do. No textures, just a gray shape basically. And then the concept artist will use a screenshot of that and paint over and basically give all the details and so on. So you can save a lot of, and it's actually a Google Sketch, if some of you have been using that already, is a tool that is becoming more and more common in the industry actually for concept artists who use it to create basic shapes so you can turn them around, take screenshots, you don't have to worry about perspective and volumes and so on, and proportions. Everything is in place for you, and then you do your paint over and you get some concept art that is very neat and accurate for the 3D modelers. And it's something that we do a bit more in a more elaborate way, because we have 3D modelers that can be involved in the process. So basically, when they start working on the 3D models later on, they have already very often participated in the concept arts of each piece there. And it's something quite specific. As soon as you have a team large enough, of course, the collaboration is very important, because when you have 25 people working on a single feature or an expansion for a game, for example, like us, they need to work together. And it's an interesting point for the people who are in art school and maybe thinking about joining the industry at some point. There are different aspects in the being just a concept artist in the game industry for movies or so on, or just being basically an artist more with a fine arts approach and doing your art on your own and for yourself. Because as soon as you participate in a project like a video game, small team or large team, you have to compromise, and you have to find find a way to compromise in a positive way, I'm tempted to say, because compromise very often sounds like, okay, you have to give up something in exchange of something else, but it's not really that. It's for I think the key to make a good concept artist, and all artists are not able to do that, it's just not in the character of everyone, is to be able to share your inspiration and listen and accept the direction for an art director, from also creative directors, game designers. It's probably true when you work on music, also for a movie, a video game, or whatever. You have to kind of listen to what the other creative people around you are telling you. You have to digest it, and then you have to spit it out basically and kind of give birth to something that is your own creation, but that takes into account all the influence from the people around you. And that's how something like Eve, for example, is possible. It's only possible because we have people that we pick very carefully. We have a lot of applications coming in, and the selection is very harsh on our side, because we don't look only at the skill set of the people. You know, of course, you need to be able to draw and paint or do 3D and so on. But beyond that, you need to have the mindset, the skill set, that's the basis. And we need people who have the mindset to do all that. And to work with an art director, for example, and to be able to then digesting all that, but all the creativity that they have in the designs, without losing really the passion, because of course as soon as you have to take other influences, you could kind of lose the passion for it, the real passion for the piece you're working on, and you have to be able to do that, and at the same time...
to take a lot of criticism.
Yeah, take a lot of criticism.
Asgeir, can I ask you a question? Yes. Sort of linked on that note. On the difference in artistic freedom when CCP was young and when working on a mature product like Eve today, when say Kaldari and Galante were being defined in the early days, versus today, if an artist is being asked to make a new ship, then Kaldari is dark blue and pointy and Galante is dark green and with soft curves.
Yeah,
so there's less freedom today, and you know, what is the progression of the company?
There is less freedom today, yes. We have defined the look of Eve pretty much, although we are trying to evolve it constantly. But an artist is taking a chance when going out of that frame, and he has to be ready to take the criticism if it's evolving in the wrong direction. But I always allow the artist to, you know, explore some different ideas, and if it works, to take it into that, you know, direction. So Eve cannot go, you know, stale and just stay the same all the time. We have to evolve. But yes, there is less freedom. When I was designing first, you know, I was just pretty free to do almost, you know, whatever I wanted. But there was an art director. I was trying to please him all the time. So, yeah,
And I think that's one of the interesting aspects of doing an